We're going to walk through 4 examples step by step where we'll find the inverse Laplace transform of a function. To make things easier, I've written down a table with inverse Laplace transforms. On the left, we have capital F of S, and on the right, we have little f of t, which is the inverse Laplace transform. Let's look at our first example. We're going to find the inverse Laplace transform of 3 divided by s squared plus 4. The first thing that we want to do is ask ourselves, which entry in the table does this look like? This entry looks like k divided by s squared plus k squared. Let's write that down. Capital F of S is equal to k all divided by s squared plus k squared. The Laplace transform of this function is f of t is equal to sine of kt. When we compare this function from the table to the function that we're given, we can see that k squared is equal to 4. So we have k squared is equal to 4. That means that k is equal to 2. We have a 3 in the numerator instead of a 2, like in the table. So we have a mismatch. What we're going to do is we're going to rewrite the function that we're given. We have f of s is equal to 3 all divided by s squared plus 4, and we're going to write this as 3 times 1 all divided by s squared plus 4. To match the table, we need this number to be k or 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite this, and we're going to write this as 3 times 1/2 times 2 all divided by s squared plus 4. That way we have a 2 in the numerator, but by multiplying by 1/2, we didn't change the problem. Now we can write down our answer. The inverse Laplace transform of capital F of S is little f of t, and that's equal to 3/2. That's our constant out in front. And then this part of our problem is just sine of kt, and k is 2, so we have sine of 2t. And there's our answer. Let's now look at our second example. We're going to find the inverse Laplace transform of 5 divided by the quantity s plus 1 squared. Here we have a squared linear factor in the denominator, and if we go back up here to the table, this looks similar to the table entry 1 divided by s squared. Let's write down the table entry. We have f of s is 1 divided by s squared, and the inverse Laplace transform of this is little f of t is equal to t. Since we have s plus 1 and not just s, we need to use the translation property. That property tells us that capital F of s minus a corresponds to e to the at times f of t. Let's now rewrite the function that we're given. We're given that capital F of s is 5 divided by s plus 1 squared. We're going to pull out the constant and write this as 5 times 1 all divided by s plus 1 squared. This is our f of s minus a. If we set s plus 1 equal to s minus a, we can see that a is equal to minus 1. Now we can write down our answer. Our f of t is going to be t, and our e to the at is going to be e to the minus t. We have the inverse Laplace transform of capital F of s is equal to 5, that's our constant right there, times e to the at, so that's e to the minus t, times f of t, which is t, and we're going to rewrite this as 5t e to the minus t. And there's our answer. Let's now look at our third example. We're going to find the inverse Laplace transform of s plus 3 divided by s squared plus 3s plus 2. In this problem, we have a quadratic in the denominator. The first thing that you want to do when you have a quadratic is see if you can factor it. We have s plus 3 all divided by s squared plus 3s plus 2. And we're going to set this equal to s plus 3. You just copy the numerator. Now let's see if the denominator factors. We can factor this into s plus 1 times s plus 2. Now our denominator has 2 linear factors. Since we can factor this, to find the inverse Laplace transform, we're going to need to separate our denominator into 2 separate linear factors, and we can do that using partial fractions. We're going to write this as a all divided by s plus 1 plus b all divided by s plus 2. Now we're going to recombine it. S plus 1 times s plus 2, and we have a times s plus 2 plus b times s plus 1. Now we'll equate s plus 3 to this numerator. We have s plus 3, and I'm going to go ahead and multiply out this right-hand side. We have as plus 2a plus bs plus b. Now let's split this up. We have s plus 3. We have a plus b that multiplies s, and then we have 2a plus b. Let's put a 1 here in front of the s. I think that will help us see what's going on. To make this equation true, we have to set 1 equal to a plus b, and then we can set 3 equal to 2a plus b. Let's do that. We have 1 is equal to a plus b, and then we have 3 is equal to 2a plus b. In this first equation, I am going to let a be equal to 1 minus b, and we'll substitute that into our second equation, where we can get 3 is equal to 2 times a, which is now 1 minus b, plus b. This is equal to 2 minus 2b plus b, so it's just 2 minus b, and that gives us that b is equal to minus 1. And then if we come back up here to a, we get that a is equal to 1 minus a negative 1, so we have a is equal to 2. There's our a, and there's our b. We had f of s is equal to a divided by s plus 1 plus b divided by s plus 2, and this is now equal to 2 over s plus 1 minus 1 all over s plus 2. Let's now look at these expressions and go back to our table and see what we can see that might match up with this. In our table, we have 1 divided by s minus a, and the inverse Laplace transform of this is e to the at. So that's the formula we're going to use. Let's write that down. If capital F of s is equal to 1 over s minus a, then the inverse Laplace transform gives us f of t is equal to e to the at. In this problem, we have s plus 1 is equal to s minus a. So a is equal to minus 1. And then similarly, in the second part, we have a is equal to minus 2. Now we can write down our solution. The inverse Laplace transform of capital F of s is equal to 2. That comes from this constant right here, e to the at, which is e to the minus t. And then we have our next constant, minus 1. So we have a minus e to the at, which is minus 2t. And there's our answer. Let's look at our last example. We're going to find the inverse Laplace transform of s plus 1 divided by s squared plus 2s plus 5. Just like in example 3, we have a quadratic in the denominator. Let's see if we can factor this one. It doesn't look like we can factor it, but let's make sure and let's calculate the discriminant. The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. So this is 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5. This is equal to minus 16, which is less than 0. That means we are going to have complex roots, and we can't factor it into real linear factors. So let's just write down no linear factors. What we have to do instead is complete the square. Let's go over this carefully because if you're like my students, you probably have forgotten how to complete the square. We have s squared plus 2s plus 5. Here's what you do. We're going to group the s's together. So we have s squared plus 2s. We'll put parentheses around that, and then we add 5. Now what we do is we look at the constant that multiplies s. We have to take that constant and divide it by 2 and then square it. That is equal to 1. So this becomes s squared plus 2s plus 1. That 1 is what we need to make a perfect square. And then we close the parentheses, but we can't change the problem, so we have to subtract 1. And then our 5 comes along for the ride. Now we're going to factor this. This becomes s plus 1 quantity squared, and then minus 1 plus 5 gives us plus 4. So our denominator is now equal to this expression. Let's write that down. We have capital F of s is equal to s plus 1 all divided by s plus 1 quantity squared plus 4. Now we need to see what formula in our table this matches up with. Notice that we have an s plus 1 instead of an s. So before we go to look at our table, let's write down what this would look like without that shift. So we're going to write down capital F of s is equal to s all divided by s squared plus 4. Now let's think about this and go to our table and see what we can find. We have s divided by s squared plus 4. In our table, we have s divided by s squared plus k squared, so that's definitely the one we want to use. And the inverse Laplace transform is cosine kt. Let's write down that from the table we have capital F of s is s all divided by s squared plus k squared. And the inverse Laplace transform is little f of t is equal to cosine of kt. If we compare what we got to the table, we can see that k squared is equal to 4, so that's going to give us that k is equal to 2. Now we can write down the inverse Laplace transform of this function circled in red, and it is going to be little f of t is equal to cosine. Instead of k, we now have a 2. Let's go ahead and highlight this. We're almost there. Now what we have to do is take the shift into account. Let's write down the formula for the shift. We have the formula that f of s minus a corresponds to the inverse transform e to the at little f of t. Let's go back up to where we have the s plus 1s, and we're going to set s plus 1 equal to s minus a, so we know that a is equal to negative 1. So going down here to the bottom, this becomes e to the at, which is now minus t, times f of t. Now all we have to do is combine this answer with this answer. The inverse Laplace transform of our original function, capital F of s, is now equal to e to the minus t times cosine 2t. There's our final answer. And that's it. You now know how to find inverse Laplace transforms for the main types of problems you're going to encounter. You should now be able to work through some practice problems on your own. If this video has been helpful to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Keep believing in yourself and have a great rest of your day.